Okay, so we are here today with what could possibly be some of the more exciting chainsaw trouser news of 2025. Full disclosure, I haven't seen these yet. They just arrived through the door. And they are the TreeHog TH250, which are kind of like a budget trouser. Now, what you will see as we go about unboxing these is that although the price is very cheap at around 1,800 Swedish crowns inclusive of VAT, which is around 120 euros exclusive of tax for all of our EU people, they are actually spec'd out like a more premium type of trouser. So we're gonna put this box to the side, and here we have the trouser itself. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna unbox this from the plastic. These come in some of the more regular sizes for chainsaw trousers. They come in all the way from extra small to extra large in regular or tall leg, which are some of our more popular variants in the store. First impressions are that they're very light. They don't feel like they're heavy at all. We're gonna get a scale out here in a second just to see what they're actually weighing. This is the medium regular length. So to begin with, we have some ventilation zips at the bottom here, or at the back side, that look like that, pretty standard. And if we take a look inside, it's just very, very thin mesh, meaning that in the summer you're gonna be able to open these vent holes up and you're gonna be pretty cool. Again, I'm very impressed by how lightweight these are. So compared to some of the other chainsaw trousers out there, these are incredibly, incredibly light. If we go to the front here, this is kind of where we see a little bit of the budget, because the fabric here doesn't feel budget at all really. But if we take a look at some of these other features, that's where we can kind of see that these are a little bit cheaper and where we've kind of saved in price. So for example, the zippers in the front are not really zippers, they're just pockets but with Velcro closure. So instead of having these regular zips that we usually have, we see that we have this Velcro. For me, I'm not sure if this is a deal breaker or not, but what you'll probably notice is that since this doesn't close all the way, after days full of work, these pockets will be quite full of sawdust, given that there's a small opening here on each side. So for some people that may be a deal breaker, for other people that may not be. We have no pockets on the front, which some people will hate, some people will love. If you're someone who loves to bring your phone along all the time, for example, or you're a snooze or something like that, then it can be a little bit annoying not having any pockets here in the front, because these tend to be covered by the harness as you put that on and as you do your climbing. So these will not really be usable during the climb, but more when you're doing groundwork, you'll be able to use these front pockets. If we move to the back, we'll see we have no back pockets either, but the material on the back is incredibly thin. So this is some of the thinner chainsaw trouser material out there, meaning that you're probably not gonna be as overheated as you can be in some of these other trousers during the summer. So these buttons here, they're probably for the suspenders, and they're not necessarily to adjust the waist, but the waist is relatively stretchy because of the material that's being used. So they're gonna fit most people if you do go within your sizing. But overall impression is that we have some incredibly light trousers for a very cheap price. And you're probably getting a bargain if you're getting these and you just want to, for example, get some for your groundie, or you have a seasonal worker, or you're someone who just likes to replace your trousers a lot. Then you can get one pair of these for whatever price most trousers typically are. We're gonna get a scale out. Boom, magic transition, and we're gonna see what weight these are. Now these are medium in regular length, and they weigh in at exactly 1 kilo. So just for reference, some of these other trousers, we can list some of them on the screen, whatever weight they are in medium regular, but they're very light and they're very thin. So in regards to the trouser in the initial first feels, we can tell that it's really value for money. You're saving a little bit of money on, for example, the pockets, for instance, on the not adjustable waist. For example, the zipper here in the front is also plastic. It doesn't look like it's a YKK zipper, for example, so you're losing a little bit of quality there. But overall, for 1,800 Swedish crowns or 120 euros, it's a good deal. We're gonna chuck these on and we're gonna see what the first impressions are on the body. All right, so this is the trousers on. First impressions are that they're very light. You can really tell that they're minimalistic in the way that there's not a lot of stuff going on here. The fabric at the back is very thin. These are very nice, the ventilation holes, and you can tell that there's really a lot of airflow coming in. And in general, like I said, these are medium regular, and that's kind of the size I would go for in chainsaw protective trousers. I'm 181 centimeters tall, weigh about 82 kilos, and these fit very well in the waist and also on the thighs, but you can kind of tell that where you're losing some quality in regards to these higher priced trousers is that there's not really a lot of taper down at the calf. You can kind of tell that they fit well over the thigh, but when you want to get down to the calf here, it's a little bit more bulky and it doesn't fit as well. Obviously now I don't have any chainsaw protective boots on me. They would look a little bit better going over the boot, but you kind of tell that there's not really that much taper. One thing that I'm missing as well is the gaiter in front here that you can use to hook it onto your shoelace, for example. These trousers are missing that gaiter, which can be a nice feature for some. But all in all, it's a very light and it's a very minimalistic chainsaw trouser. For the price, it's an incredible deal. So if you're, for example, getting some new trousers for yourself and you're just getting started in the arborist world, or if you have a groundy who's just going to be working with you for 6 weeks, say, or if you're someone who likes to replace your trousers very often, then this will be a fantastic deal at these 120 euros, 1,800 Swedish crowns. And are kind of hard to beat in regards to value, because a lot of these other budget chainsaw trousers, for example, you can pick up at a hobby store, tend to not have this kind of nice fit over the thigh and also tend to be a lot bulkier than these are. These are very light at 1.01 kilograms. I probably could size down to a small if I wanted a little bit snugger, but it would be a lot more snug than in the waist and over the thighs. But I could definitely not size up to a large, so definitely consider that when you're checking these out. Also, the legs are probably a little bit long for me, just ever so slightly. So if you're kind of in between these regular and tall length variations, I'd probably recommend going with the regular leg. But all in all, these are the TreeHog TH250, brand spanking new and available in the store right now. Definitely do check them out if you fit the criteria of everything that we've outlined now. So thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Ciao.